that took a year and a half to make. It was a very, very long process. We started writing songs for it probably over 3 years ago, and during the writing process we went through 3 different drummers and you know, a ton of hours worth of practice.
As far as musically goes, I think we took it in a lot different direction than what we had previously done. The previous couple of EPs were a lot of like two-hand tapping guitar, and this one we were and that was very reflective of what we were listening to at the time. You know, like Don Calvert.
We started Ternary about 3 years ago without even knowing that we had started it. It started with just one riff, and it's Ternary 2 that's on the track. It's just a solo piece that I had written a long time ago, and through that process we went through 2 different drummers, so that took exponentially longer to start the recording process. We tried to record, or started the tracking process about a year ago, or maybe like a year and a half ago, and the studio fell through that we were going to record with, so that was another delay in the whole thing. And then mixing took 6 months, I think, and finally hearing the date of October 23rd that we were actually going to have the release show was the biggest, the most cathartic experience for all of us, just to be able to finally say,
yeah, sort of. I mean, at any given point during the show, I'm either playing keys on various, you know, number of sounds between string sounds. One of the coolest ideas I think that I didn't think of was like, there's times where I'm backing up Drew's bass line with like a really low sub bass on the keys to just bring what he does to the forefront a little bit. You know, Drew doesn't sound like a bass player most of the time, and so bringing his lines to the forefront I think is really cool. So yeah, I mean, Rhodes sounds and all sorts of synth sounds and sub bass stuff, and then even as far as like just little bits of percussion stuff, there's times where I'm playing bells, shaker, tambourine, you know, little things. I'm definitely kind of the auxiliary guy now.
Do you guys like being labeled a math rock band?
I hope that sticks. Yeah. I don't know. I think we're going a different, like, you know, like I think the album loses some of that.
Okay.
So I hope that we can keep that going.
What, the math rock label?
Yeah.
I'm not really into it so much.
No?
I think I think a lot of the math rock bands are all starting to sound the same. You know, it's all, and I'd like to think that we're a little bit different. You know, of course every band says that, but you know, I'd like to think we're taking it in a little bit of a different direction.
You guys are definitely taking it in a way new direction, I think.
Oh, thanks.
I think you guys have a very like complex but like still kind of like organic sound that a lot of the math rock bands lose a little bit of. But I think you guys have a lot of like epicness and a lot of almost like storytelling behind it. It's not just like notes. There's a lot more to it than that. There's a lot of rhythm.
That's awesome.
It's really nice
Yeah,
to listen to.
That's really cool of you to say. I think that's the thing about math rock is it's like if you call yourself a math rock band, it's like pigeonhole pull yourself in with all these other bands. And so I think, you know, we take a lot of cool parts of math rock and a lot of cool parts of pop music and a lot of cool parts of, you know, progressive rock and metal, and just kind of do what we do. I think we've been trying for a long time to sound a certain way, and now we finally sound like us. You know, it only took 6 years to do, but yeah, I mean, you know, I think we all know each other.
Sorry No Ferrari started in 2004, 6 years ago, with Chad, myself, and 2 other guys. And Chad and I are actually the only 2 original members still in the band. And it started out with the style was much different than it is today, much more tappy, kind of influenced by Minus the Bear and Don Caballero. And we went through some lineup changes, and Brett actually joined the band a year or so into it, and we actually got.
I started playing music because my dad got me into it. He started me playing guitar when I was 6, maybe 5, with a Queensrÿche song. It just really got me into that. When I was 17, I started working at a music store with Chad, and he gave me Hella, Bitches Ain't Shit, what else did he give me? Fortet, Rounds, Don Caballero, and DJ Shadow, Introducing, and that changed me completely. So I joined the band in 2005 after the previous guitar player started.
I joined the band like 4 months ago. I met Chad first when I was in high school. He worked at the music store I took guitar lessons at. I've known Brett since we were in preschool. Our parents used to hang out, and we've known each other forever. And then I was at like the first Sorry No Ferrari show in like Chad's basement, and kind of watched the band evolve and just was always there. And then Brett joined up.
Drew and I started the band in 2004. Actually, even before then, it was originally supposed to be just me and a drummer. And I was going to play through like a guitar amp and a bass amp. I was doing a lot of the 2-hand tapping stuff, so it kind of filled out the sound. But it became a full-fledged band. It actually included another guy named Drew, which is now in a great band in Atlanta called Campaign. And then a guy that, the drummer was a really young kid, and he's like into hardcore music. He's playing in hardcore bands in Texas right now. But so we've evolved a lot, I think. We've had a lot of, you know, we've had 4.5 drummers and, you know, 2 different guitar players, and now we just added our 5th member, our newest member, Nick, and he's doing kind of auxiliary stuff.
Okay, I've read in a couple other interviews that you guys have dabbled in considering a singer. Was there any songs on Ternary that you were kind of almost were like, okay, we need some vocals? Or?
Well, there was one small vocal part.
It was like 8 measures.
Yeah, it was very, very short, but as far as adding lyrics or vocals to any other part of the music, no, it never even crossed our mind.
Awesome.
I wrote lyrics to Ternary 3. Like when I listened to it in the car, like I would try to, no.
No.
Sample. Like
That would have been perfect.
Beautiful, yeah.
Should have laid it down.
Yeah.
I hear it more now that it's possible, but I mean, to me, the idea of ever coming across something that works is like,
I think it'd be tough. We're definitely not opposed to the idea, but I think it would be a huge challenge, you know, for us and maybe even for a vocalist.
But I think there's bands doing it now that are really that band Protest the Hero is just crazy, all sorts of nutty guitar work and stuff, and then when you hear their singer sing, it's like, wow, he did it. And they're nothing like Sorry No Ferrari, but I think it's I don't know, maybe more people are kind of into things, and singers might be more warm to the idea of singing over something like that. And if it could ever happen, I think we're in a time where maybe it could, but again, I'm like, I mean, I do listen to it in the car and go like, yeah, maybe you could fit a vocal melody in here, but I'm like, I don't know anybody who could do it. I mean,
you guys want to challenge any vocalists out there?
We're still holding out
to
for
bring it on, you know?
John Anderson from Yes won't return my phone. We're kind of waiting.
Aaron Neville was at the top of our list for a while.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, if there is anybody who listens to our music and likes it, and they're a vocalist and they want to try and put some stuff to it, send us some tracks.
Great. Awesome. So, is there anything you guys want to let people know about the future of Sorry No Ferrari? I read that you were planning on touring next year. Is that still the plan?
Yeah, absolutely. We were just standing outside. I want it. Been too long.
Yeah.
It's been way too long.
You
It's
guys
so
get on tour.
Oh yeah.
It's been a year and a half, I think, right?
It's been
The last time we toured.
Oh, almost 2 years.
We didn't have anything to sell on those tours either. You know,
Yeah.
we had a 5-song EP that we didn't play any of those songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's cool to finally have something that we can have offer.
give.
Take.